Hello friends, welcome back to This is the Police 2, November 22nd.
Any other questions?
So how long you been working undercover?
Since February.
So you're like our new sheriff now, huh?
Mr. Nash will partly take over management of the department. Some of you will now be his subordinates. Bad news, Cliff. I'm still the sheriff. Well, if you understand everything and there's no more questions, then let's...
Wait, I have a question. When are we going to take that thing down?
I meant questions for Mr. Nash.
Then I have a question for Mr. Nash. Mr. Nash, when are we going to take that thing down?
When are we taking that thing down?
We're not taking it down.
Sorry, bud. Looks like it's staying up.
That's enough. Everybody back to work. It was Sheriff Wells who hung that tapestry here. He said he made me his first deputy because I was the only one who understood what it says.
Well, now there's two of us.
Maradian, who has 15 professionalism, drank too much. I don't think I can hold it together today. Yeah, go back to Lily then. Yeah, let's click that. Oh, are you sure you want to get rid of this cop permanently? After today's shift, he'll be Lily's problem, but you won't be getting a free substitute. Ah. Okay. Okay. So we have Penkin. Mr. Nash, I'm so glad to be on your team. Finally we can get down and do some proper police work under the leadership of a real man. So good old-fashioned misogynist. I'm ready to give it 100%, but there's one thing. I need to go with the guys from my funk band to Ripton to a guitar specialist so we can set up our instruments right. We're getting ready to perform a concert at our cousin's and we can't cancel it, you understand. So I'll go quickly today and tomorrow I'll be the first one through the door. Yes. Okay, leaving the station or any task requires a cop's energy. When exhausted to the limit, a cop might not show up for work or fall asleep at the wheel and get into an accident. Cops are people too, and some of them, for one reason or another, abuse alcohol. Most of them will have a drink or two if the situation calls for it, but some are such inveterate alcoholics who always show up drunk to their shift and their performance at work is much worse than everyone else's, if they even manage to get to the job in the first place. Okay. And cops' characteristics determine how effective and useful they'll be in a given situation. Each cop can carry several items of equipment. The cop returns his equipment to the department when the shift ends. The only items that every cop always carries are a revolver and a knife. Okay. So, today's shift. God, we're starting with a lot of cops on the shift. Maradian, who is absent. Possibly? No, he appears to be here, despite the fact he can't hold it together today with 15 professionalism. With Belmont, 95 professionalism, he is a 3-star shooter. Okay. We have Mustard, 490 professionalism, that was very high. Flower Pots, good all-round stats. Rosencrantz, Birch the Third. There's a nice throwback. Aronovich, Shinny, Klimsey, Kurosawa. I sense a Team Asia Mark II team on the go here. Muzika, Spurlock, and Guildenstern. So we've got significantly more cops than in the first game. Choose a cop, select his equipment. Shockers, pepper spray and stun grenades disappear after use. Tasers expend a cartridge for every shot, but you can always rely on your baton. Wow, so we have a lot of equipment to hand out, potentially. We'll just auto-assign for now? I think so. I don't know if we're giving Maradian anything, to be honest. I'd like to... We'd like to give more professional people. We'll give Maradian a baton. That's as far as he's getting. Okay. Yeah, let's go with that. So it's 12 o'clock on November 22nd. How many cops do we have? 5, 10, 13.
516 in progress.
12. Urgent calls are time sensitive. You need to send your cops out before the timer expires. It's a 30-second timer. That's fine. We've got disorderly conduct, 516, at the Smelly Goose Bar. A drunken worker parked his truck sideways, blocking in several cars. When the owners of the other cars asked him to move, the man climbed onto the roof of his truck and ordered the dogs beneath him to shut their yaps. Let's send Team Asia. We need 300 professionalism points. They're going to give me 555. And maybe we'll just throw in a low professionalism one, hopefully to boost up the numbers a little bit there. Okay, interesting music. So they've reached their call. No matter how good your cops are, they can't do it without your orders. All the difficult decisions are on your shoulders. When you're deciding how to respond to a particular situation, you have to choose the cop that's most suitable for carrying out your orders. Hey mister, there's a fire over here, we need your help. And Shinny, with 3 negotiation, is going to do that.
516 complete.
The drunken worker hurries to the rescue, jumping from the roof of the truck without even fastening his pants. Back on the ground, he's greeted by a cop, who easily placed him under arrest. With every new 50 points of professionalism, a cop receives 1 skill point. You can spend it as you see fit. We're gonna give Jessica Sheeny a point of intelligence. Okay, I'm noticing the pronouns here. I don't know if that's an intentional thing or... Thanks to his incredible service, Shinny earned the Hunter perk. A policeman disarms explosive devices and notices traps and warns his friends about them.
551 in progress.
We have an attempted robbery at the Garmer Funeral Home. A girl entered the vault, stole an urn filled with ashes, and is trying to escape. I'm going to send Mustard and Mazika. It's far more professionalism than we actually need on the job, but you know, it's best to sort of go with it. Erin in one hand is climbing outside through a small storage window. Seeing a cop, she screams, "Don't touch me, I'm fulfilling the last will of my beloved. Her parents would rather die than let me destroy her ashes." Convince the girl to try to reach an understanding with the deceased parents, grab the girl by her foot, run out of the funeral home and intercept the girl on the street. Okay, well, we don't have any cops actually who are particularly well suited to any of these, so we're going to have to rely on the professionalism, I think. Going to get Mustard to try to convince the girl to reach an understanding with the parents.
551 complete.
Offender escaped. How can you reach an understanding with people who look at you like you're the devil? The girl squeezes through the window, fleeing with the urn.
573 in progress.
Police impersonation at Beltway. A man in police uniform is standing at the entrance to the city, slowing everyone down and demanding money. I'd like to be able to see the skill points each cop has, actually. Send Mustard back out with Birch and Aronovich. Hopefully, filling it up with professionalism will counteract the potential lack of skill. Okay, so only 3 calls today. So by all means, they seem to have increased the number of cops, but also reduced the number of calls you have to face. Man in police uniform is standing on the side of the road, counting some money. Turn on the siren, order him to surrender. Hi there, colleague. I'm going to share your earnings. We're going to give this to Birch, and we're going to order him to surrender. The man in the police uniform ignores the cop and flees across the field. We don't have anyone with speed. We may need to do a little bit of shooting here. Mustard's going to shoot the man.
573 complete.
Cop shot the criminal in the back. Offender dead. Okay. So there's our first kill. Yeah. Everyone seems to enjoy that. Lock Mustard. What a great name. We are going to give him 1 point in strength. Thanks to his incredible service, Mustard earned the battering ram perk. Breaks down the door or window. And earned the knockout perk. Blows with the baton stun criminals much more. Okay. Virgil Birch III. We are going to give him another point in negotiation. Freeze buddy. Before raising the alarm, the policeman can take an offender on the fly and immobilize him for a turn. And Ari Aronovich is going to get a point in also negotiation, I think. I think a negotiation will be probably the most useful one if we want to avoid conflict. And end the day. Beer can tabs, traditional currency in the sheriff's department. You get tabs for successfully completing missions and lose them for losing criminals and getting civilians killed. You can spend your tabs on new cops and extra equipment. Okay. So you get 5 for arresting and 1 for killing, by the looks of it. And you lose 3 if anyone escapes. Okay, so we don't really have enough tabs to do anything. Wow, I would like to get 14 tabs. A 710 professionalism cop with great all-round stats. But alas, not presently. At the end of each day, you have to select cops that will work tomorrow's shift. So it's no longer... It's no longer done on shift A, shift B. We'd like to get flower pots, Rosencrantz, because they didn't do anything today. We'll get team... Oh, I'm not going to work every day. Okay, so that's why we have... Okay, I may have made a slight error here, but to be fair, it didn't really make it clear. Aronovich is willing to work again, as is Birch. Okay, flower pots, Rosencrantz, Aronovich, Birch, Climsey, and Belmont. That leaves Team Asia. I think that's fine. So tomorrow's shift, November 23rd, is only going to have 6 cops. That's fine. We can actually get by with that. As long as they don't start throwing all the jobs at us. Incidentally, you may have to ignore the beeping. It's my washing machine. But I'm not going to deal with it just yet.
You're moving into a smaller office?
I'm moving where I'm more comfortable. That's the office I used to share with Gail. It's probably too big for me, but it'll be just right for you.
Can I help?
No, I don't like people prying my stuff. You could get a bite to eat. I'll be finished in like 20 minutes. I can handle this. At least I can handle this.
Okay, then I'll go down to the dining hall then. Call me if you need me.
Mr. Nash. Glad we have a chance to get acquainted again. This time under better circumstances, huh? Our first meeting didn't go so smooth. You really must forgive me, Mr. Nash, for being so rude to you. It was rude of me to arrest you. You gotta admit, you don't really look like an undercover cop. Am I right, guys? But I didn't hit you too hard. I tried to be delicate with elderly gentlemen. I'm not some kind of monster. I didn't mean to offend anyone. You really shouldn't be offended. We're all grown-ups here. Why be offended? Why are you offended, Mr. Nash? I gotta say, I expect more from a senior police officer. Well, I don't know, more professionalism, you know? You seem like the kind of guy who sits behind a desk doing paperwork. Am I right, Mr. Nash?
That the bathroom?
Weren't you gonna drink your coffee, Mr. Nash? You're not incontinent, are you? Mr. Nash, do you have a problem? Is it an age thing, or did I just hit you too hard in the kidneys? If that's the problem, then I apologize, Mr. Nash. I tried not to hit any vital organs. Ah!
Charlie just got beaten up with a broom. Ah, so we're starting the day at 7 AM. Okay. Mr. Nash, yesterday I had a great trip trip to Ripton. That's not easy to say. Thanks for letting me go. The guitar specialist was a real master. Now axes are roaring like true stadium masters. Unfortunately, our drummer Lenny lost his sticks during the trip, and these were special sticks carved from Gernsburg black oak. He made them himself, can you imagine? Anyway, we need to go out into the woods, find the right kind of oak, cut it down, and cut enough sticks that Lenny can throw them off the stage and not be all cheap about it. So you'll have to manage without me for now, but tomorrow I'll work a double shift, I promise. You're gone, friend. You are absolutely gone. I feel like I should write down everyone's perks here. Everyone has a little bit of intelligence. Clumsy has strength. Belmont has shooting. A couple of people have negotiation skills. Okay. We'll just auto assign, because everyone can get pretty much a full loadout here. Okay, 6 cops on the shift. Let's see how this goes.
520 in progress.
Public indecency. Bank of Sharpwood. An elderly man wants to take a loan out to kill his wife. For 40 years of marriage, she's been nothing but boring, but you don't even care. You give loans to bloodsuckers all day. He continued arguing with the bank clerk, and when the elderly man was finally denied credit, he made a scene and lowered his pants to teach a lesson to the corrupt banking system. We'll send flower pots for negotiation and Belmont in case the guy needs shot. I don't think we'll be shooting anyone at this stage. The old man, his trousers down, is up on a table, squatting and groaning. I was refused a loan as a regular customer, so I'm ready to make a special deposit. Here it comes. Just a second. Ooh, that's... Grandpa, put your saggy ass back in your pants or it's gonna get kicked. Oh, we'll just restrain the old man. The old man breaks free from the cop, sheds his trousers and runs out the bank exit. Oh, for God's sake. Get Belmont to shoot in the air.
520 complete.
Offender caught. 30 points of professionalism for what was an easy job. Okay. Thanks to his incredible service, Flowerpots earned the athlete perk. Can move an additional 1 or more cells. Vanessa Flowerpots. Benedict Belmont has 1 eye. I wonder how that happened. We're gonna give him a point in negotiation. There's always a chance the criminal will voluntarily lay down his arms and comply for the rest of the mission. Wounded criminals surrender much more willingly. And a policeman interrogates and arrests a suspect. The location of criminals and active objects is highlighted for 1 turn. A policeman cannot interrogate a criminal more than once. I'm glad it's gone back to sort of
538 in progress.
This is Police 1 style. From Pierce Rosenkrantz. Mr. Nash, out back behind the station, one of the snowdrifts started melting and the legs of some half-decayed corpse appeared. What are we supposed to do? Should we dig him out and search him? Or call the guys from the morgue and let them do it? Better make up your mind quick before that corpse starts to stink. Dig him out and search. We've got a shooting! Sycamore Street. Wendy Pierdo heard 2 loud shots in the street and now she's afraid that bandits will break into her house to kill her and her husband. This sounds like a job for Rosenkrantz, Birch, and Clumsy. Because Flowerpots and Belmont are on their way back, so there they are. What's this? Oh, okay. When in doubt, just click.
Code I.
Oh. If a criminal has already disappeared from the scene of the crime, a full investigation will have to be opened. For this kind of job, cops' speed and accuracy are unlikely to help. You'll need employees with brains. Someone stole a VCR from the Elmer family residence. Let's get Flower Pots on that. She's got intelligence. We've got a message on the shooting. There weren't any gunshots. 2 loud backfires came from Mrs. Piero's neighbour's moped. He built one that runs on a mixture of alcohol and manure. You seen the price of diesel? I don't need it. I've got to pay that much. Yeah, I'm really glad it's gone back to This Is Police 1 style. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the tactical style of play, but this is familiar. This is nice. Mr. Nash, we searched the corpse. There was no ID and no cash. We took off his boots. They were pretty well preserved. That's quality footwear for you. You have received leather boots. You've got some valuables and nowhere to keep them. You'll just have to leave them in the corridor until you find a better place to put them. Maybe you'll be lucky and no one will walk off with them. Okay. So someone's going to steal my stolen shoes. I have an abduction at a kindergarten. Okay. A woman reports that her baby, along with her stroller, was taken while she was picking up her older son from kindergarten. I literally turned away for a second. I was helping Christopher put on his scarf and the stroller just disappeared. Yeah, Rosencrantz, Birch, and Belmont. The day seems to run pretty quickly. Outside the kindergarten, there's a man who looks like a drug addict. He's pushing a baby stroller. Turn on the siren, pull in front of him. Hey Pops, what's your baby's name? Let's get Birch to ask him what the name of the baby is. Rather than answering, the man ditches the stroller and runs down a narrow alley. We're going to get Belmont to shoot the suspect with a taser.
547 complete.
Cop stunned the criminal with a taser shot. It turned out he wanted to sell the stroller for money to feed his drug habit. He was so strung out he didn't notice there was a child inside. So Pierce Rosencrantz is going to get a point in negotiation. Round of freeze buddy perk. And Benedict Belmont is going to get another point in negotiation. Not to be too obvious about it, but negotiation does seem to be serving us fairly well.
577 in progress.
Illegal sales at the Smelly Goose Bar. A bartender is complaining an old disabled man is standing near the entrance to his bar selling homemade alcohol. Be careful with him. I think he's only pretending to be crippled, said the bartender. Aronovich and Klimsey. Klimsey is an old man. I think he has 3 points of strength. Oh, investigation. Vanessa Flowerpots interrogated some of the witnesses and prepared a preliminary report for The Secret of the Pink Chewing Gum. Open the investigation. You don't have enough information right now to reconstruct the sequence of events and figure out who committed the crime. In the morning, you can instruct any of your subordinates to continue the investigation. So we got two slides, and we have 4 clues. Let's wait on this one until we have more to go on. Sense of security from John Elmer. Mr. Nash, it's good you guys got started working on my investigation so soon. The cops in Sharpwood aren't as bad as everyone says. I'm not a poor man, but something steals someone from your home, they steal the most valuable thing of all, your sense of security. Today they took your video player, tomorrow they'll take your wife. By force, you know what I mean? I can't allow this, so I'm ready to do whatever it takes to bring them to justice. I have a small business for installing water supply systems in homes, in other words. We install toilets, so homeowners don't have to do their business outdoors. Interesting. I wonder if Bogdan's part of that. Here's what I propose. If you put your best people on this and solve the investigation, in return I'll install brand new toilets for all the cops in the area. You can't imagine how grateful the guys will be. Do you think they like to freeze their asses off outside, especially when it's late at night? Okay. So the day does run from 7 AM to 1 AM. Because, you know, 18-hour days are good for you. Illegal sales. Who wants some witch's moonshine? The old invalid is hawking his wares, shaking his crutch in the air. It'll turn any cripple into a man. People are gathered around, hoping for a taste. We're gonna get Climsy to restrain the cripple with his 3 strength.
577 complete.
The cop knocked the invalid down and put him in the patrol car while his customers griped and moaned. Now he'll have to sell his moonshine in the prison yard. Well done, Aronovich and Climsy. Art Climsy. Ari and Art went on that job. For surrender and interrogation. That should do it for November 23rd, once Climsy and Aronovich are back at the station. And I also think that's going to do it for this video. We're at 31 minutes, that's not bad. Certainly it's a shorter video than the last one. You got 15 tabs for 3 criminals arrested. We didn't let anyone escape, so we now have 18. And we can't get... That's annoying. Okay, so there seems to be one fairly poor cop, one reasonable cop, and one quite good cop on each. I think what I'll do is I'll buy a few taser cartridges because we are using them, so... Okay. And I won't bother buying Leiter or Springer. I will just go ahead and end the day and the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.